It's been 3 years of strategic governance in Borno State under the Professor Babagana Zulum-led administration. From security to education, health, science and technology, the state has continued to witness tremendous growth in socio-economic development and human capacity. Welcome to Borno Restoration. I am Jessie Tafida. But first, let's bring you up to speed with Borno Today. Victims of the Maiduguri Monday market Inferno. They are mostly small business holders who lost almost all during the incident. Support has come their way from the Center for Advocacy, Transparency and Accountability Initiative. 100 of them will take home food items, while 50 of them will get 50,000 naira each.
For quite a number of time, we have sat down with the committee members to sit and analyze and observe the number of beneficiaries or victims that have less capital, which we believe their capital is not up to the standard that they own a shop within those markets. The message that I want to highlight from the Embassy of Switzerland is that for the people that are receiving this short grant, is for us to see you bouncing back to your businesses. We believe it will make you build resilient by staying with your family, for you to start catching up with other activities that will make you sustain.
I'm sure we'll all overcome. So let us stay focused, let us be resilient, let us be strong. And by the support and help of God, we shall overcome.
Officials of the Monday market and some beneficiaries appreciate the support and call on other philanthropists to emulate the gesture.
Most of them that you are seeing, they are petty traders, chicken sellers, and most of you can see most of them are food sellers, cow milk sellers, and a word will not be enough for them, for us to thank them. On behalf of the Monday Market Trader Association, the petty traders, I thank them. May Almighty Allah award them.
I was so surprised when someone told me about it. And yesterday they called me. And to my greatest surprise, what they said is what they did. The time they gave us, we coming here, seeing what we saw and what we took, we're so excited. I'm so happy. And I pray that God Almighty will replenish them.
This gesture is expected to assist victims bounce back to business.
The Borno state government says it is putting measures in place to improve access to quality material healthcare system in the state. Executive Director, State Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Dr. Ayuba Lawi, disclosed this in Maiduguri at the commemoration of Safe Motherhood Day. He commended efforts of Governor Babagana Zulum for investing massively in the primary healthcare sector within and outside the state capital.
He's such a hardworking governor that sometimes he denies himself comfort of his house and others, and ensure that even in the midnight, he goes out to health facilities, just to ensure that health workers are there to provide quality services to the good people of Borno State. One of the key strategies to improve maternal health is to promote institutional deliveries. He has continued to prioritize and invest in efforts to encourage pregnant women to deliver in health facilities with skilled birth attendants.
Addressing journalists at the command headquarters, State Commandant Musa Farouk assured people of the state that his men will not rest on their oars until crime is brought to the barest minimum.
I want to assure the people of the Maiduguri bypass and indeed Borno State, Maiduguri in particular, that we will continue to do our best. We will not relax our oars. I want to appeal to them, especially the citizens of goodwill, to always provide prompt information for us to act. Without information, the security is not able. Consequently, security is a collective responsibility for all of us. Hence, every person must partake.
The 22 suspects paraded before newsmen include teenagers who were caught vandalizing conduit wires and other materials in buildings. as well as those involved in cybercrime.
We have a typical man, a fraudulent person, an expert in cyber crimes. All the suspects, numbering 22, are in our kitchen. I want to appeal to government in the very first instance because government has power of eminent domain to do so many things for the citizenry. Government should empower the youth by providing employment, stipends by which they can live up to some skills and develop themselves and have livelihoods.
Items recovered from the suspect include mobile phones, windows, computers, television sets, and burglar proofs. The NSCDC warned those involved in such activities to refrain or face full wrath of the law. The suspect arrested will be charged to court after preliminary investigations are completed. In the last 4 years, socio-economic growth in Borno has been at an all-time high. The state has continued to wear the stamp of prosperity and development, with relative peace now enjoyed by residents. Life is back to normal. A laudable initiative by the state governor is the inauguration of 301st batch of road marshals of Borno State Traffic Management Agency, ROTMA. The state government, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme UNDP, trained and equipped the marshals. The main objectives of establishing the agency is to bring discipline and sanity to the transport sector, as well as enhance revenue remittance.
Any organization that you are managing, at least you have to dedicate powers to others, because so far we have about 30 supervisors that are supervising all those 270 marshals. With the 30 supervisors that we have, with these 270 marshals, we have altogether we have 300 marshals. So I think everything is going as usual. Prior to existence of Borno State Traffic Management Agency, on a serious note, we have it has become a source of concern to the state, because there is no discipline in our state. So that is why the government finding deemed to establish this agency. To be sincere, if I tell you, up to now, the level of sanity that we have in this state is quite appreciable. Yes. And going forward, we need to bring so much sanity to the state, because we want to follow suit like in the other state, Lagos and Kaduna and the Kano state. So very few you're going to see significant changes in the state by God with us.
The agency, since its establishment, has generated over 200 million naira revenue to the state government.
Primary function of this Borno State Traffic Management is to protect the life of, to provide safety of life and property, and it's also a revenue generation farm. If you look at it, in the last 5 months, we were able to generate almost 260 million naira to the state. I'm hoping before the end of the year, we will do more.
Residents of the state appreciate the laudable initiative by the state governor.
I would say Bodma are really trying, and there is a lot of improvement in the traffic management and in terms of discipline of road commuters in the state. Most of it, everybody that stays in Maiduguri knows that before, it is a normal thing to have keke napep riders recklessly driving tricycle during weddings. So, but now, if you can notice, a lot of these activities have stopped, because there is no place in Maiduguri now you will see somebody recklessly driving keke napep or running around with cars in the state, which in terms of discipline, we think it has gone a long way in improving the discipline aspect of the road commuters.
People use keke napep to steal handset, enter people's house, steal their goods. By this body number, we will be able to trace them. They are doing very good.
The state government is working assiduously to increase the numbers of marshals across the state. I had a chat with the chairman, Borno Traffic Management Agency, Hussaini Blama. He tells us more about government activities to improve the transportation in the state. Take a listen. Welcome to Borno Restoration, sir. Tell us, what is BOTMA?
BOTMA simply means Borno State Traffic Management Agency, which came on board during the era of His Excellency, Professor Engineer Babagana Zulum, MNI, FNSE. It was one of his developmental agendas that he is prepared to run the affairs of governance of Borno State. The need to have free flow of traffic, especially in our cities, has become an issue. Not only Borno State, not only Nigeria. And in Borno State, you are aware, over a decade, the insurgency that we found ourselves, most our rural dwellers, those who are lucky to have escaped from their ancestral homes, villages, all were in Borno State, inside capital of Maiduguri. The issue of traffic, both vehicular, even pedestrians, has become an issue. So, the core functions of BOTMA is free flow of traffic, congestions, overloading, reckless driving, underage driving, obeying simple road signs, safety of life and property, especially when there is accident. It's our duty to rush the victim to hospital for medical attention. If there's an accident, there's a blockage on the road, it's our duty to immediately clear the road for free flow of traffic. Not even a vehicular issue. If you go to some markets or places where there's gathering, like post office, motor parks, you see entrance to the motor parks will be blocked by our petty traders, hawkers. It is our duty to enforce it, to clear it so that both vehicular and pedestrian will have free flow of traffic. We have 300 staff. They are proving for us. They have been trained in the first instance with the police, because we have to fall back to police to give us their past experience. And the training was very marvelous. Immediately we finish again, we have an assistance from United Nations Development Program. They used a consultant, came on board and trained our personnel again. That's double training. And that's why, coming to your questions, that's why you saw them in every nook and crannies, and traffic junctions, roundabouts, and other very volatile places within the city that is very prone to traffic congestions. And to God be the glory, since we started, always success. I'm not here to blow up my trumpet, but if you go out, interview the people in the city of Maiduguri, They will tell you what they felt or how did they perceive about ROTMA or the road marshals. If you go to post office before the formation of ROTMA, if you have a very fancy car, you don't like to follow that side. That's from Bolorian about, or you won't proceed to specialist hospital, or either Monday market, or the Monday market proper. If you didn't dent somebody, somebody will dent you. That's our Kekenape. But today, you just pass without any scratches, without any quarrel or holobolo with any other road users. All these grades goes to bottom marshals. And discipline on our road, especially in Kekenape, before the formation of ROTMA. I want to emphasize on this, especially during weekends. If there's any wedding, if there's any wedding of their members, you see them trooping in hundreds, they will block the whole roads. No any other person will have access until they move away. Or even within themselves, you see a lot of crashes, sometimes even to fatality. Yes, loss of life. What I mean is loss of life when it is fatal. It's loss of life. Life has been lost. Sometimes damage the property. In case, they get damages, damage even to our street lights, damage to our other accessories, even public properties or private properties. But today, because of the sanctions attached to it, monitoring and enforcement, all this has become a history. As per ROTMA law, there are sanctions to any disobedience to any of the road traffic rules and regulations. Our own sanctions is even higher than the police, even Road Safety, Federal Road Safety Commission. Why? Because we need people to learn a lesson. Like one way you follow, 5,000 up to 10,000 for your fine. If you follow one way, you know one way, coming opposite direction. Especially that's dual carriageway. Or for you, instead for you to round the roundabout, you start to take shortcuts. If you disobey traffic lights, 5,000. There are a lot of things. The least of our fine is 2,000. And yes, all these fines that have been generated from disobedience, low road users, it goes to the government and asks how did you pay, or did they pay for the fines imposed on them? As per the law, you will go and pay remitter. We don't call it cash. You go and pay for remitter, you pay, we confirm it, we document it. Even when you pay, you get your remitter, you paid in and show for us. We have our record. So person, so offense, or so date, at so area, so place. We document it. The law is not acceptable of anybody. Once you break the law, go and pay. He knows. He's a disciplinarian. So I don't know anybody in this state that will pass His Excellency, a branch child to this very agency, a founder of this agency, that will break the law and will keep quiet, or any of his relations to brag of him. If he had you, he will not be taken kind with you. So we simply used to tell them in a language, as I told you, as we have undergone series of training, we have a lot of public relations, psychology, social psychology, the human rights, even just how to relate with human being, a fellow human being. And considering how Nigerians will be sometime, We are taught how to manage all these type of things, to avoid rancor. But as we are talking to you in a gentle way, a gentle manner, it doesn't stop us from enforcing the law.
Now, talk to us about how you want citizens of Maiduguri to help you achieve your markets.
It is still of Borno. BOTMA is meant for all Borno states, in respect to where you are. Once you are in Borno territory of Borno state, the law of BOTMA covers you. Now you have been saying Maiduguri because of the situation we find ourselves. And let me tell you, Your Excellency promised us any moment, places where there's peace and security, and it's being urban centers, we will open our branches, especially Bama, Biu, Mongono, very soon. Because those places, they are just like towns now. They are modern towns. So populations are there. Roads, because of the developmental, there were programs going on, roads, streets, there. So we'll move to open branches. This BOTMA is for people of Borno State, for their own safety on the roads. Their cooperation is beyond expectation. And right now we have started getting that cooperation, especially in the city of Maiduguri, as I said it. We see a lot of things happening. Even if our marshal didn't call us, they will give us a call. You know, this synergy, this patriotism. In some places, even not close to where our traffic points are, where our marshals are stations, when there's any accident, there's any blockage, they will give a call. Or whichever way, if there is chemist somewhere, they will just call our attention. Then we move in quickly. We resolve it. Because we have to use mechanism of alternative dispute resolutions. It's very, very important. With the management, that's what we have been doing. Immediately we are 24 hours on ground.
Chairman, Borno Traffic Management Agency, Honorable Usaini Bulama, thank you for your time on Borno Restoration.
With pleasure.